It was a loaded week for Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Sicks, so we'll see what's going on there. We'll also check out some connected issues with Bo Dallas, Alexa Bliss, and more. Starting things off with the overall backstage feeling within Raw for the June 24th edition of the show. This was the first episode of Raw coming off the Wyatt Sicks massacre, so there was a lot of uncertainty backstage. It was a very similar one to Smackdown, where WWE had extra security guards in position at every single angle. The first big moment of the night was Pat McAfee's strange absence. Indianapolis is like Pat's second hometown since he played in the NFL there, so it's always like a mini homecoming for him to be at those shows. Also throw in the fact that the Wyatts were calling him a liar all week. And that was all adding extra suspense to this Raw appearance for Pat. But when the show started, he was nowhere to be found. So fans wondered if his absence was storyline related to the Wyatts capturing him in some way. But according to reports, Pat had a legitimate last-second emergency, and that's why he was unable to attend Raw. The other part of Raw that had the Wyatt Sicks influence all over it was obviously Chad Gable. He arrived to Raw with an entire group of security guards escorting him to his locker room. Gable had on massive sunglasses to hide his bruise and refused to talk to the cameras. But by no means was this a pointless segment. While Chad Gable was dodging the cameras and heading to the back, a production truck with Alexa Bliss's face on it can be seen in the background. And not only just seen in the background, but the cameraman specifically makes it his goal to perfectly get the perfect angle of Chad Gable and the Alexa Bliss production truck all in one shot. It looked extremely intentional and looked like the Alexa Bliss production truck was no coincidence at all. And this is a solid teaser because WWE just did the same exact method a few months back before WrestleMania 40. During the Raw's epic beatdown of Cody Rhodes outside in the rain, there's a certain point where The Rock holds Cody up, and you could see a Stone Cold Steve Austin and John Cena production truck in the background of the shot. And everyone back then assumed that it was an Easter egg for two of the big legends that were going to assist Cody Rhodes against The Rock and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And that's exactly what they were hinting at. The original plan was for John Cena to come out, which did happen, and the second original part was for Stone Cold Steve Austin to come out and take care of The Rock. But reports claim that due to some financial disputes, WWE had to switch things up to The Undertaker. But that's a perfect example from not too long ago, how WWE used the background shots of faces on production trucks to hint at future events. So fans think that's exactly what's happening here. It was no accident that Alexa Bliss's face was seen as Chad Gable was making his way to the arena. It's a good early sign that Alexa Bliss will be making her return, hopefully into the Wyatt Sicks world, considering she was shown in this segment with Chad Gable. A lot of fans are wondering if Chad Gable would suffer symptoms similar to the Fiend effect following the massacre attack. Everyone that the Fiend closely interacted with ended up going through some personality change in a big way. So that was something that fans were keeping a close eye on with Chad Gable. Was his attitude or personality going to completely change based off the Wyatt Sicks influence? As things stand right now, it doesn't seem like it's affecting his personality quite yet, but he absolutely seems extremely paranoid. During his entrance, he looked back at the stage several times to make sure no one was coming for him, and even in a moment during the match, Chad Gable could be seen glancing at the stage some more. So either way, the Wyatts had made it inside Chad Gable's head. Gable was able to qualify for the Money in the Bank match, but his celebration was cut short by Nikki Cross. The lights shut down and the opening note is Shattered, played as Nikki crawled her way to the ring. She eventually chased Gable out and turned her attention to commentary with a package in her hand. She went to Michael Cole and dropped it off. It's also important to note that all the security guards that were at ringside were all taken out and attacked off screen, assumingly by the other Wyatt Sicks members. The package was intended for Pat, but since he wasn't there, Michael Cole ended up opening it. The package was an old VHS tape, that we later got to see. On the tape, we get to see a powerful interview between Uncle Howdy and the returning Bo Dallas. This was a very big moment because prior to this point, WWE never acknowledged on television that it was Bo Dallas portraying Uncle Howdy. So this was the big reveal and unmasking for the more casual viewers that had no idea. And telling by how WWE titled this segment on their website, the unmasked version of Taylor Rotunda is in fact still being referred to as Bo Dallas, which was of course his original WWE name. But despite him having the same old character name, this is a completely new version of Bo Dallas. Howdy questions Bo Dallas on how he felt to lose his brother. Bo says the most important thing in his life was taken away from him, and that it felt like nothing was ever going to matter again. Uncle Howdy even asked Bo another serious question that some fans and critics were throwing around, and that's the question of if Bo feels like he's exploiting his brother's legacy. Bo explained that all he ever wanted in his life was to be like his brother. He talked about how he himself worked so hard in order to have the opportunity to work alongside his brother. Bo mentions how that dreams came true for such a short amount of time. They made it. They were together on WWE television. They were going to rule together, and then it was all taken from him. Bo says there was no one on this earth that feels the pain he does. Bo mentions how it felt like everyone was forgetting about Bray Wyatt and everything that he stood for, and he wasn't going to sit back and allow that to happen. Bo said that they made everyone remember, and Uncle Howdy responded, "Yes, we did," with a big smile on his face. The camera zooms out and reveals that the interview was taking place inside Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse. It was such a chilling moment and another masterpiece of a segment that was put together. Some fans were confused on how Howdy was interviewing Bo, and wondering if they were trying to make it look like Bo wasn't Uncle Howdy. It doesn't look like that was the goal of this segment. It looks like they were actually trying to establish the complete opposite. They were trying to reveal that Bo Dallas is Uncle Howdy. This interview wasn't actually another individual interviewing Bo Dallas. It was meant for him to be having an inner dialogue with the darker version of himself, answering questions in his head from the outside. It's not like Bo Dallas is an innocent bystander. This closing line of the interview confirms that Bo is getting his hands dirty with the Wyatt Sicks. Bo points out how we made them remember, to which Howdy responds with, "Yes, we did," which hints that Bo and Howdy are the same person. And like we learned about Uncle Howdy's character from over the last few years, he's going to ask you questions to purposely stir the pot, rile you up, and get you to fully get lost in the dark side. That's what he's trying to do to Bray, and it looks like it's working. And that's what he's doing now to Bo Dallas, and it's once again working. As Bo Dallas gets more riled up with rage during the interview, you can see the wider Uncle Howdy smile gets. That's the reaction and response that he wanted, and Bo Dallas was just giving it right to him. It was an amazing segment because, like reports have been alluding to, the Wyatt Sicks are allegedly not going to be an over-the-top supernatural act. And this segment right here did a brilliant job of deeply humanizing the characters of Bo Dallas and even Uncle Howdy. They addressed the real actual loss of Bray Wyatt, how it made him feel, and clearly laid out the goal of why Bo Dallas was coming back. So just an amazing segment for humanizing the group and laying down their goal all at the same time. And the other big thing fans are wondering about is if Bo Dallas will continue portraying himself and Uncle Howdy in a split personality sort of way, like how this segment teased. And also interesting that they were inside the Firefly Funhouse. Could that itself be a sign that Howdy will be using the Funhouse for future activities? And could Howdy even potentially interview other Wyatt Sicks members in a similar fashion? There's a lot to look forward to there. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.